All right, I want to make you a video about this question, which is from S6, number 16 on more. So a brand of cornflakes come in a box that says it holds 24 ounces of cereal. The manufacturer says that the weights have a normal distribution with a standard deviation of 0.28 ounces. Use a z-score table to answer the following questions. The z-score table can be found by selecting read. Round all answers to the nearest box. If the manufacturer ships 880,000 boxes, then how many boxes? And then it asks all those questions. So when I first approach these problems, the first thing I do is draw my normal distribution. This just helps my brain understand what's going on in the problem. So this is cornflakes. And then my mean is 24. And my standard deviation, my mean is 24 ounces and my standard deviation is 0.28 ounces. So I'm going to draw that first standard deviation, second standard deviation, and third standard deviation above and below the mean. And I'm going to label all of those just so I know, what I'm doing and making sure I'm making sense of it. So I just go to my calculator and calculate all these. So 24.28 because I do the mu plus 1 sigma. This is mu plus 2 sigmas, mu plus 3 sigmas, and then over here it's going to be mu minus 1 sigma, mu minus 2 sigma, mu minus 3 sigmas. So I think you guys are pretty good at figuring out the normal distribution, but I really think it helps to make sense of the problems when we draw it, even when it doesn't say it's required. Okay, so I'm calculating all of those, and then I have them done. So now it says, how many boxes weigh less than 24.182 ounces? Well, I'm going to have to find a z-score. So the first question, I'm going to write right here, we have 880,000 boxes shipped. And then how many boxes weigh less than 24.182 ounces? So I'm going to use my Z formula and I'm going to say my data value minus my mean divided by my standard deviation. So I'm going to get 0.182 divided by 0.28, and I'm going to get 0.65. So this is the value I'm going to look up on the Z table. So I'm going to go to a Z table and look that up. Let me see where I have that. Okay, let me find that Z table. All right, so here's the Z table. I'm going to go to 0.65, and there is that value, 0.7422. So I'm going to remember that number, and I'm going to use that right here on the table. It is 0.65 is equal to an area of 0.7422. And remember, that area is always to the left. So first of all, I'm going to go back to my picture and say, so 24.1822 is going to be somewhere, I'll use a different color here. And it's going to be all of this area over here. I can tell that that's definitely going to be more than 50% of the area, because from the mean all the way to the bottom would be 50%. So now I'm going to use that number that I just found that 0.7422, and I'm going to multiply it by that 880,000 boxes. And I'm going to do that on my calculator. I'll just pull Desmos up so you can see it. And I'm going to do 0.7422 times 880,000. And I'm going to get 653,136 boxes. So that's just part one. So that's my answer to right here. 653,136 boxes. Then it says how many weigh more than that? Well, that would be the boxes that are on the other side. So first of all, I could just take 880,000, subtract that, right? Or I could subtract 0.7422 from 1, and then I could multiply it by that 880,000 boxes again. So I'll do it two different ways. So how many weigh more than 24.182 ounces? So option 1 will be over here. I could do 880,000 minus 653,136 boxes. I could just do that on my calculator. So I'm going to do 80,000 minus that answer, and I'm going to get 226,864 boxes. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, option 2, is I could do 1 minus that area of 0.7422. Minus 0.7422, because that would be the area on the other side, which would be 0.2578. And I can take that value and multiply it by that 880,000 boxes. And I should get this same answer. And notice I do 226,864 boxes. So that's how I do those first two parts and get my answers. When it says how many weigh less than 23.188 ounces, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Find a z-score, go to the z-table, calculate, and then I can subtract. The tricky part is probably this last one. So I'll pause here and then I'll make another video that does those last three.